They never tell the truth, only lies. When I'm in the booth, for the venom when I shoot, off with their heads like a coop. Whatever they offer, I refuse. Got different coffins, I put them in often. What's T? T stands for the cross of the X. The real bosses are hidden, the jesters doing the rest. What's H? It's a spiritual war. They trying to take us to hell. It's like they locked us, divided us, and put us in cells, splitting us at cellular level. These bloodlines hailing back from the seeds of the devil. What's E? Take away D, it's evil. Mandated muzzles and hit you with needles. The ones in power clearly ain't people like us. They just want a bunch of sheeple, confused and weak dudes, manipulated by fake news. Like codes through the TV, make it easy to be decepted, lost in the program, and your mind to be neglected. And why don't they let us be? They gotta control us, create false realities to hold us, gotta burn them off like calories. No roses when I lay them down. My words are swords slashing through these false lords.
Before we get serious, we're gonna talk about space space news. First of all, Saturn's rings will disappear by 2025. What is this? You're trying to tell me that's the shadow? And they're trying to portray it as real. Look, you got the little lights in the background. Now, what light is hitting it to make it look like that? And where is this shadow coming from? And look at the shadow. What is this? And you got some more 22s and 23s. It's like I've been saying in some of my videos, they're always, every week I look, the space news, there's 22, it's almost like there's 22 satellites going up. Starlink sending up 22 satellites, 22, 22. Sometimes they mix it up and put a 23. Just a couple more of those that I've seen. Almost like it's an algorithm AI just doing it for them. Yeah, maybe they still like to do it themselves. They like to sit back and laugh every time they put one out. Now you got this. They said, here's the Mars rover. Here's the Mars rover. And that's Mars. Right? Is it? What is this? Now, what kind of tires is that? To roll around Mars and you got big holes in the tires? Come on, man. You can't say it's a shadow. Check out this front tire. Bam, still there. What is that? They brought this to Mars. Or did they? Pentagon builds new W-93 sub launch nuclear warhead for 2040. What's in 2040? Thanatos. A lot of words in there. Thanatos drone. U.S. firm unveils. Unveils is also the word evil. Unveil, veil, evil. Is the most advanced stealth drone to date. Thanatos. You got NATO in there. Satan, Scramble. Whole bunch of stuff going on. End of the day, what it is Greek mythology. Thanatos. Death. Die. Was the personification of death. Often referred to, but rarely appearing in person. Is that because it's a drone? Winged and sword is how they depict. Thanatos. Brother is Hypnos, aka hypnosis, governs sleep. Hypnosis has a son, Morpheus, Greek god of dreams in mythology, Morpheus. You see where the Matrix storyline plays out. Morpheus guides Neo, showing him the true realm. In other words, when you're awake, here you're asleep. Some ancient cultures had those understandings and were partial to that philosophy. And I couldn't agree more that that is the case. And I've said this in previous video, this just adds on to it, that this Alchemical Attacks is what I call the series. And coming to the conclusion with the alchemical symbols and all the names and the word scrambles, the different play on words, clearly playing out the mythologies. And what I'm starting to see is that a lot of the names are referring to different weapons. A lot of you already know the mythology stories and the different names. I'm just trying to highlight the wordplay in there, and also the fact that in Greek, the translation of that word means death. So we're talking about them naming a drone that name, and we already know these are DEWs. Check out all these SpaceX missions here. A lot going on with them. Where they sending everything to extra space, the SpaceX. Look, they got one called Dragon. What does the Dragon do? It says it sending humans and cargo into space. More confirmation they're sending stuff and sending humans somewhere else. Well, they're saying send it into space. You know, let's read this real quick. The Dragon spacecraft is capable of carrying up to 7 passengers to and from orbit and beyond. It is the only spacecraft currently flying that is capable of returning significant amount of cargo to Earth. And it is first private spacecraft to take humans to the space station. Now, when you look at this Dragon, you know what else we're looking at? From the Hindu, the Vimana, V-I-M-A-N-A. Now look at that. Look at that. Interesting at the least. What's next with the space news? NASA's Lucy mission went to visit an asteroid and got more than it bargained for. That's some headline. A lot of names, they always gotta pick subliminal names, huh? Lucy. Just coinky? Or is it because you got lose cipher in the wordplay when they use the name Lucy for different stuff? And let's take a look at this. On SpaceX website, the imagery that comes up, not just clouds, is it? Very intentional. Look deep into those designs of the clouds. I see a couple faces. Do you see them? Trap souls type of vibe I get, kind of like Ghostbusters. Another face here, also resembling the Terminator. So I'll just highlight a few parts on here. This one, as I wipe the stars off the windows of my spaceship, call out the spirits in my basement. As I wipe the stars off the windows of my spaceship, again, these Vimanas or, other SpaceX aircrafts, or, floating up there with helium or whatever the alchemical process is to make them hover maybe up close to the top of the dome or whatever field that they can't pass through. The more evidence I see, and I made a video about this a while back, probably like a year ago, but the more I look into it again and see more signs and symbols leading towards that direction of not only that they're going down and underground when things get realer than they already are. I mean, in some places I understand it's already chaos. I just mean, the big thing to go down or whatever. I think it's possible that they're also going up as well as down. And that's why I wanted to show this song. And this is a deep occult song that a lot of people might not even think twice about. That's why I wanted to wrap it out like that. Like, I don't know how, if you're actually dissecting and breaking down word by word, how deep. Same guy making a song about lollipops, make a song about this deep kind of knowledge right here. Check this part out. Calling out the spirits in my basement, crawl out the center of the snake pit. Now to me that's symbolizing CERN and what they got going on. And the fact that this CERN is a few different things. One of the things though is a huge magnet, and the force field that the magnetism from this can create. That's why they're saying black hole, And then I highlighted a movie from the 50s called The Magnetic Monster. You should check that out. It's about CERN. So again, calling out the spirits in my basement. You've already heard, I'm sure, of CERN involvements and talks about portals and letting in spirits. And this is biblical stuff as well. This is ancient text, not just new age stuff, you know what I mean? Move on to the next one. After crawl out the spirits in my basement, crawl out the center of the snake pit, he goes, fall into the middle of her greatness. Now we're talking about her, Mother Earth, black hole. It reminds me, not of course Black Hole Sun, I won't even go there, but Power Man 5000. I've mentioned that song before. That's referring to CERN opening up a portal or a black hole as well. Then it says, fireballs reflect off the frames in the pictures. She's not all impressed with the flames or the flickers. Now this, we're obviously talking about war, bombs, explosions, chaos going on. And in the hook also, I'll show you it. Speaking of hook, who has the hook? Saturn, the sickle. Capture you with the hook. Captain Hook. Listen. We hide amongst the clouds, then we pardon the enigma. It's out of our sight. In these hovering craft or floating Vimana type Dragon, SpaceX craft, whatever it is. We hide amongst the clouds, then we pardon the enigma. High above the ground, but I'm under her charisma. That one's so deep for me because they're talking to me. High above the ground, but I'm under her charisma. Under the cross or under the X, under the center point of the dome, possibly. Because you know, Christ, Krishna, charisma, all the same etymology. Christ is the cross, crossroads, the X. Her sound is in surround when I'm in her solar system. Now that, I mean, obviously you could interpret that a couple different ways, and you can make all, that's why certain artists, they're very talented, even though, you know, I'm not talking about the mumbling ones, or the ones that are just paid to come with, maybe they're not even as dumb as they seem. They're just getting paid to you know, to promote ignorance and stupid stuff. However, obviously when you listen to lyrics like this, you can tell this is a cult level of thinking. This is deep knowledge, what he's speaking about. This is something that an insider would write. The sounds in surround when I'm in her solar system. Now when you're talking about her again being Earth and things popping off everywhere and super volcanoes and pure chaos, I could see how that would relate. The quiet calms my quasars, the eclipse is eclipsing. That kind of ties into what I go into with the flags. That you know, they just break down the flags as religious. That's why you'll see 15, 20 of them under Islam, and they're all showing you a certain eclipse. To me, though, it's, you know, it's an eclipse, but they're showing you an alignment, and they're showing you a certain time. And each flag, why I think the eclipse looks a little different, I think it's the same eclipse. It's point of view of how they're going to see it at the specific time when the event or the big event really kicks off. That's what I think. The other part of the song, it's got Nicki Minaj on there. Makes you question who's her mother. Well, her mother was in the music industry before her, so possibly an industry witch. I'm not saying she is. Something like her daughter is. I don't know. Open the curtains, window watching, people killing, robbing. The sky is falling down. It turns into news, and this is the apocalypse. People living in their rocket ships. My mama always told me that there would be no stopping this. Fireball reflections on the friends and the pictures in my room of I and you. But when you go down through it, it's talking about we'll be on the dark side of the moon, repeating that over and over again. If you take a look at Sicily's coat of arms, check that out. Definitely seen that before. Wheels in the sky, keep on. And then when you take a look at the flag, it's a Nordic symbol, trilateral commissions using it, or similar. Hazard symbol, Google Chrome symbol, which is also an alchemical symbol, meaning a vortex, portal basically. You also got Medusa right in the middle, Gorgon, gods of the sea, Medusa, mainly known for her ability to turn mortal men to stone with one gaze. Sounds like we're talking about another weapon, right? Turn men to stone with one gaze. The head right in the center. And Medusa supposedly, is fighting evil. Serpents wrapped around their head. Phoenix, the wings. Check out Palestine's flag up until the 1940s. Probably just another one of millions of coincidences. Kind of looks like their flag. The whole point is signifying that the circle is a lot smaller than you think, and all these countries versus that country, and this power versus that power, this military versus that. It appears real, and it is. War is real because of the people are dying and getting sacrificed for the bigger agenda, but it's false flag wars. Plan. It's like playing a video game, building up your army, stacking up the guns, ammo, equipment, technology, and then when it's battle time and you're ready to go, you send in your soul dyers. You're not physically being affected. The ones with the real heart, the brave ones, they go into battle not knowing the real mission. In the meantime, hundreds, then thousands, then millions have been killed. What gets accomplished? Besides an agenda to erase us, the present human, they're ready to create a new one in their liking. I've heard that before.
Sacrificial lambs for these false gods that want us dead. They're claiming royal, but their genetics are spoiled. My higher self connected like I'm tethered to coil. I got my tin hat while you trapped in the foil. I bat a man, but I won't rob him. A true seeker, I'm out here murking goblins. I got no cape, just lyrical weight that anchor you. I'm gon' break an ankle, you gon' need a tank or two.
Another family that's been around for a long time. Here's one of them that was a cardinal, 1600s. Check the name, Francisco Maria Sforza. That's a nobility name. Take away the S. Got the video game, the card game, Forza. Pallavicino. So you see the variation, or Pallavicini. And you could try to chalk it up to all families shorten their name, add to it, extend it, whatever. But that's how these families hide their genealogy and keep interbreeding and creating new variations of their names. Then you got Elvina Pallavicini. At one point they would call her pretty much the head or the leader of the black nobility. And her born maiden name is Medici. So I know you're familiar with the House of Medici. That's another key family in control of this matrix. Where the word medicine come from, just take away the N and E. You got Medici. And I've shown you this collage I made before, but I've added to it now. I put the Iran flag on there and Brunei, I'm not sure how to say it. And we're looking at the same symbolism amongst all of them. House of Kelowna. Below that, you got Ashkelon or Ashkelon. And then the black sun, CERN. See the alignment right above it. We have similar, if not the same symbolism in all these. And of course, rearrange the Iran flag, and Brunei is Saturn's sickle again. Now these are all referring to that alignment, and maybe even right down to that moment when they decide to press the button, the big event that takes place that changes our world. These symbols are all signifying that. This is kind of crazy. This symbolism also is literally hollow earth symbolism. If you look at the artwork and the layout of hollow earth concept, the era when, Hitler in that time discovered a lot of stuff about inner earth and black sun. That's crazy to me. That's mind-blowing. Some of these families, these coat of arms, they're using this hollow earth symbolism. And the black sun symbolism. Very good find for me. Definitely not surprising, knowing that one of their names is Schwartz. Soros is Schwartz, Schwarzenberg, and Schwartz means black. They're the black suns. This symbol right here is called Irminsul. It's a representation of the tree of life. That symbol we're looking at right here in Old Sax, it means the Great Pillar. Was also called the Pillar of Hercules. Irminsul and Jupiter columns have a possible connection. Here's Jupiter's columns. And then I've showed it before, as you see here, House of Kelowna, coat of arms. Kelowna means column. One of their other names they go under is column seal. That's Mel Gibson's middle name. Or is it his last name? Now, we're looking at Jupiter's column. It resembles what I've shown you before in Aldo Brandini's castle, their pillar, which resembles the Holy Grail that projects the sun in the movie The Coming Race. All interesting, that's all. It's also the Axis Mundi. This is all the same symbol. It varies in the design. It's all referring to the tree of life and the true nature of our realm and world. And again, it's odd, that they're showing you the same symbolism over here when you look at Hollow Earth. And for me, saying it's hollow and saying it's flat and it's not a huge ball and water curves is saying similar things to me, because if it's flat, we already know there's underground tunnels and caves and systems and possibly other life forms that have been there for long before us. And if it's hollow, it's the same thing in a sense. Yeah, heavy symbolism. Heavy symbolism. You can clearly see who's who. Very simple. Notice a pattern. Aryan, Khazarian, Bavarian, Assyrian, Tartarian, Sumerian. And guess what? Iran means Aryan. Iran's also ancient Persia and mythology, Perseus. That's interesting because when you look at even the image they give you on Wikipedia, you can see in the mythology, Perseus has the head of Medusa, and Medusa has the head of Perseus. The wordplay right in Medusa, you got USA in the word Medusa. Does that tie into the fact that there's an ongoing war now between Iran and USA? That was, no, not predicted, but scripted way back in the day. Well planned out, guys. It was written. I understand, the controllers of this world, they communicate through signs, symbols, dates, numerology, gematria, and all that. And, this to me, speaking upon Iran and USA, these are ancient cults, ancient families, controllers of the simulation, really, or the controllers of the earth. Again, simulation, coding, it was written, script. Good example again, how all these families, these black nobility bloodlines are all connected. Prince Pahlavi at a medical conference, helping out the children, I'm sure. Is at a Medici medical conference. There's a marriage between those two families, Pahlavi and Medici, merging those two powers, just like a lot of the other nobility banking dynasties. Same old song and dance over at the Vatican, I guess.
The beast is the war machine waiting to blast you. False flag, war, poverty, blood in the street. Continuing that mission till the pyramid is complete. They're controlling our people through politics and religion. Controllers building bunkers under boulders, Bible prediction.
It was all scripted.
I'm smarter now and a little older. Analyzing the world, realizing this.
You know, this crown prince, if you look at Pahlavi, their traditional coat of arms, just like the House of Windsor, they got the harp on there. This is all, you know, these are symbols. These are subliminal. Harp. If you know what harp is, shoots lots and lots and lots, basically billions of watts of energy wherever it's directed up into the sky. For what? They have an explanation. How funny is this? Knowing that harp, dealing with possibly, can't even, it's crazy, can't even say these words no more. Weather rhymes with stipulation, but starts with an M. You get it. So, what's the odds? He's got a book called The Winds of Change. Pure coincidence. Also, when you look at their coat of arms, clearly got the double phoenix, but the same as 33rd degree Freemasonry, they got the double phoenix with the 33. And on this one, on the sword, you got the 33. And I can see here the Baphomet goat, the goat, the goat of Mendez right inside there. I don't even think I have to put it next to it. I'm sure you can see that. And back to the coat of arms, the harp, the outline of it obviously kind of looks like horns, like Hathor or from a couple different mythologies, but also like the a horseshoe kind of looks like the Omega symbol as well, symbol for death and alchemy. It can also be a symbol representing the North Pole. That horseshoe is a magnet, a pole, or a man-made machine is what we're looking at. If we bring up Pinky in the Brain, showing you horseshoe, but it's symbolizing a magnet, and it's in the center, so it's signifying the North Pole, the pole star, pulsar, the light coming from there, from the hole. But also on theirs is more so the manipulated version, like a CERN version, cracking through the sky, separating the sky. Pahlavi in Iran, Pahlavi in Italy. They got, in Italy, they got Palatine Hill in Rome. Interesting. It's been said this is one of the most ancient empire vampire families from the Vatican. Everywhere. Just like all these other black nobility families that haven't went nowhere, just rebranded, all still in control of the simulation, the simulated world they've created. So yeah, multiple countries. You got crown princes that are Pahlava or Pahlavincini or a different version of the same name coming from the same family. So they're in Rome, Iran, Islam. This one here, Yahya. These are key guys behind the scenes. Key powers. Hidden hand. And this adds on to what I do in these videos. Part of what I do to show you how at some point in time they've branched out and merged their bloodlines with all these other families to create a even bigger crime syndicate. I mean, what else are you gonna call it? It's been said this is one of the most ancient empire vampire families. From the Vatican, they go from the top and it trickles down to every aspect of the system, the whole operations of the world. They're involved with everything: banking, pharma, winery, all big industry, petro, science, TV, Hollywood. The name Pahlava, it's a word much older than these that claim the names. There's a connection in Hollywood specifically with the Kardashians to the Pahlavincinis as well. Shocking. They're all sorcerers at the highest level. Go all the way back. We'll show you how far back this family, one of the owners of the Matrix families. Let's see how far back they go. History: earliest attest use of Pahlava. So keep in mind again, that's the same family from the Roman Empire, Pahlavincini. Pahlavincino, the different names they go under. So we're talking right here, 250 BC. That's just based off this simple search. And there's something called the Pahlava scripts, which is actually it's their own language, and it roots off of other languages, the parent systems: Egyptian, hieroglyphics, Proto-Syriac, Phoenician alphabet, Aramaic alphabet, Pahlava scripts. The etymology on Pahlava, whatever. To be derived from Old Iranian word meaning Parthia. We'll go down. The good stuff for me is once you get into the different German, High German, and stuff like that, and Norse, and then of course Sanskrit, get to the root. And here when we go down to Sanskrit, earth and Parthavi basically means Lord of the Earth. And of course out of the Saturnian bloodlines, the Zoroastrian, the Illuminati bloodlines, whatever name you want to put on, we know the names and quite a few of the branch names that they do, that they go under. That's what I do. That's what I try to do. That etymology tying to that what I just read, though, that basically signifies the importance of Iran itself, and why I was again choosing that family for this vid is that looks like where there's some beef in between, regardless if it's set up or not. It's kind of looking like it's Iran and US kind of going back and forth a little bit. I mean, it's all of it. But I just find that interesting because, again, the Crown Prince, and knowing that US isn't ran by who you think it is, it's these families still. End of the day, though, if you're a researcher or just someone that seeks knowledge and truth, you've been studying for a long time, or however long, you've already came to the conclusion that war is, there's many box it checks off for them when they're sitting at their round table meetings or whatnot, and control over different stuff they don't have control over yet is one major thing, and another one is taking a large number of us out is a major one. So we know that's what war does. We know what WAR is about. I don't even want to say it too many times because the algorithms have been kicking me down for, sometimes it's taken 2 or 3 times to upload a video. Also want to apologize for the comment thing. I've noted it a while back. I'll go in there, guys and gals, and there's comments that'll pop in a month or 2 later on the video that I never got a notification. They weren't even in there because I check often, and then they just randomly pop up that I'm replying 2, 3, 4 months late. I apologize. On here, there's nothing I could even do about it. Been trying to get something to go over to Rumble, and once my final video is uploaded from my previous videos here over on Rumble, then I'll start fresh and new on Rumble and still here. YouTube, as long as I could put them out on here. But again, we know what WAR is really about. At the end of the day, I highlight that some of these families, they even got it right in their name. Schwarzenberg, Warburgs. I mean, we know what they're about. I know, and I could feel how important it is to come to all these different understandings for not only here, also when we leave here. I'm one of them ones that think it all transfers over, just like data, computer, memory, brain, memory. And you could obviously see how far they go to make sure people don't get those understandings and stay tricked in the matrix. Created a system that has us daisy confused, of course. Unlocking the knowledge will connect you back to the source. So just keep seeking the truth. Keep all your eyes open. See you next time. And we'll close out with a song. If you're interested, keep watching until the video stops. Energy music.
Here's the thing about feelings. They're so much easier to control than facts. It turns out in my matrix, the worse we treat you, the more we manipulate you, the more energy you produce. It's nuts.
The flow perpetual with a clock spinning, acting like they know me. They don't know me, unpredictable, I'm unevictable. I'm not the super, I'm the driver, like the JFK shooter. Fireworks, popping them like it's 4th, cracking the 5th till you 6. VD, where we all sleep, or is it where we come alive again? All I know, I'm sick and tired of being lied upon. They gave you your truth, get up off your horse you ride upon. I ride alone, it's a lonely road. Lies got me using sacred geometry, deciphering codes. Lights through the TV penetrating the soul. Better be aware or be trapped in the square, which is using all these symbols, trapping energy here. I'm capping them, spinning them around Pac-Man, I'm trapping them. The rhymes are gritty, rip through your city like a blazer, emitting light like a laser. You worship agents. Collectively, the world is starting to wake. The ones that run it shaped like a boot, it's starting to shake. Dressed like Quakers, hidden hands standing beside them. Make sure the plans of success keep the people distressed. Confused and divided, they know them headlines, putting stress lines in your head. Words are energy, so when you laugh, why do you say I'm dead? Think about it, ask the question. Class no longer in session. They got the whole world asleep. All men turn to sheep, splicing genetics. We mice to these medics. They can't see me in the G's kinetic. Shake them one by one till they awake. They got the whole world asleep. Hard men turn to sheep, splicing genetics. We mice to these medics. They can't see me in the G's kinetic. One by one, shaking them till they all awaken. Till they all awaken. Till they all awaken. Till they